Dean Street, President,
Happy Friday, let's go. What y'all know about Dead Prez?
Come on. Sitting in the living room on the floor, hunger pain got me on some migraine shit, but I'ma maintain. Nigga got $2 or $3 to my name, and my homies in the same boat, going through the same thing, ready for a cake, steady plot for the paper. We've been living in the dark since April, on the candle, gotta get a handle. My homie got a 25 automatic.
Let's go, man. We got a good Friday show lined up for you, but I gotta start off with some Dead Prez, man. I want to wake y'all up, baby. Let's do it. Hoop Jargon. Appreciate y'all tuning in live to Hoop Jargon. It's one of my favorite songs, man. What's up, man? What's up? Had to start the right way with some DP. What y'all know about Dead Prez, man? We got a great show lined up for you because, listen, man, before Marcellus Wiley coming out the box swinging hard, this podcast, I'm not gonna lie, man. Today, I clicked on it, not even because I mean, Marcellus Wiley is like a mid-tier personality to me. So I was like, let me just listen to it because actually I looked at the comments first. Everybody's like, man, I'm so glad I found this podcast. And at the time, we only had like 1.6K subscribers. So his platform is relatively new. But I clicked on it. I'm so glad I did too, man. P Rose, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, P Rose. Y'all hit that like button and weigh in, man. I got a good show lined up for you because I'm probably gonna put you on game. And your boy Marcellus is coming in swinging hard. He's talking about beefs. He's talking about him and Acho. He talks about him and Sarah Beadle. He talks about himself in interactions with Colin Cowherd. Like he pretty much, now I don't use words like this, but he said all the tea on what's going on. He was talking about the rift between Shannon and Skip. You're gonna be pleasantly surprised about stuff he has to say. And again, I was just blown away because I didn't know he had that in him, to be honest. To be that candor, to have that kind of candor, but still not be sounding like a snitch. You know what I mean? Like, because some dudes do this and it just doesn't, it just feels dirty. It feels dirty listening to them talk about, airing other people out. But the way he does it is in a way that, like, listen, yeah, I ain't got no problem with it, but yeah, hey, we did this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pull up Marcellus. It's a great, I sound like my boy between the game sports. It's very revelatory in the sense that he talks about things that we might necessarily not be privy to. So I have to highlight. I just have to. All right. Let me type that in. And so, y'all, like button, please. I appreciate all y'all patronizing. I know I was supposed to put this out yesterday, but I'm gonna just keep it a
politicizing.
Stuff kept coming up, and I ain't feel like doing it after I got free. So I like, man, let me just do it today. So I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy Hoop Jargon, man. Really appreciate that. All right, so let's go ahead and do a share screen. And again, this is about 30 minutes. I'll probably cover half of it. But it's very revelatory to see, like, behind the curtain, a guy that who works with all these TV personalities. A lot of people guess. A lot of people project their own. And he's going to talk about one thing in particular, is that's with Skip Bayless. So a lot of people just don't like him. So you tend to project your own feelings on him, and that may not be what Shannon Sharp thinks. But let me shut up. Let me let Marcellus Wiley do talking. So let's get it, man. Like button, please. Let's go.
Skip Bayless. Let's talk about this. Woo, let's talk about Shannon and Skip's beef. And Shannon skipping the show and then coming back. Y'all know how it went down. It went interrupted. She called that show Interrupted. Not LeBron's Uninterrupted. Not Undisputed, but Interrupted. Damn, this is crazy. Okay. I think this is a case of the classic never outshine the quote-unquote master. And I ain't saying it in no racial way, so get out of my face and politicizing this. I'm talking about that show with Skip Bayless. Y'all know that, right? Y'all ready for this? 2016, Skip Bayless leaves ESPN, gets that dough. Now I'm going to do that dough. He got it.
And I think people lose scope of that. It's Skip Bayless' show. Remember that big money he took to leave First Take, a show that he also created that was an offshoot of Cold Pizza. So a lot of people kind of want Skip to get put in his place, but it's his show. And I say that because he got into one of his female co-anchors about 2 years ago. And everybody's like, oh, she put Skip in his place. No, she didn't. Skip was like, next, we're not talking about this anymore. And he said, move on. So you kind of see a recurring theme that people don't quite like Skip Bayless. And I mean, hey, he gives you many reasons not to like him. I happen to like him because I understand him. So, and I appreciate for what he is he's a shock jock. he knows a lot of sports. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't know anything, but his job there is to stir up emotions. So I don't let him stir me up because I know what he's doing. So let me say that as we go forward.
That dodo too. He got that.
I hit that like button. I see
that Pillsbury boy. That fat boy though. Damn, he got that dough boy. That Ice Cube. Jesus. But he deserved it because he was the face of the network. Him and Colin Cowherd. All right. So bow down, respect.
Absolutely.
But a lot has changed since then. Let's just talk about that. Skip's tweet. And there was nothing wrong with Skip's tweet, except.
Now, I forgot what he said exactly. Now, listen, man. Only thing I had a problem with was the timing. Because most people live in the moment. And most people like to emote in the moment. It's very hard for people to compartmentalize and understand big picture when they are worried about the emotional aspect. So Skip being a little tone deaf to that, I think that's his only indictment. What they call it, reading the room. He read the room very poorly. But what he said was what the commentators had said earlier, if I'm recalling correctly. And that's what most people are thinking if you're a football fan. So I didn't get the blowback, but to me, again, it's just like when the girls went off on him 2 years ago, quote unquote, everybody's just looking for a pound of flesh out of Skip because of some of the incendiary things he says. And again, he earns it, so I ain't here caping for him. I just choose to understand it.
You hit send at the wrong Pacific time. You know what I'm saying? Max used to always say this. Max Kellerman.
Shout out to the new sub, Dwayne. Thank you so much, man, for tuning in, brother. Hey, I got content on top of content, man. You might want to stick around. Much appreciated.
Kellerman, my dog. He said, the time to clown the fat girl is not when she's coming from the gym with the sweaty wristbands. Y'all understand what that means? Basically, there's a time and place for everything. And certainly the time is not when they're trying to do something else or is trying times.
That makes sense.
And Skip kind of missed that one.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing he thought. I wasn't going to tweet it. I ain't thirsty for social like that. I'm not about to say, my first thought and my first impulse, here we go, send. And that's what got him in trouble.
Like I said, he didn't read the room properly. And that's the only indictment, because this is a former football player telling you he's thinking the same thing. Most people were. It's just that it's Skip, man. When Skip says some shit, man, people ready to pounce on him, man. It is what it is.
The timing. But what he said, somebody was really not only thinking that, somebody was saying that, and somebody was living that out for the NFL. So I ain't have a problem with the tweet. But since people got a problem with Skip, they gonna run with that tweet. You know why? Because that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And y'all know a straw don't weigh nothing. A straw don't weigh shit. But there's a lot of other straws on that camel's back, and they weigh a lot. People were kind of fed up with Skip, or they just wanted to give it to him. They always try to stick it to him.
Absolutely.
If you're the villain, nothing people are happier about than sticking it back to you, right? So that's what that moment was. They were trying to give it back to Skip. Now, you add that the
I like that comment. Yes, Dwayne. Yes, he's very pompous. Yes, for a guy who from a athletic standpoint did nothing. Skip thinks very highly of himself, which I don't begrudge him for it. The problem is that he comes out very off-putting to a lot of people because sometimes he speaks as if he's done it. And he's very critical of people at times, and so absolutely. But he works out a lot. He has a good physique. I think he's 71 years old, and he looks in the face. He looks 71, but his body type, he looks a lot younger. So I think he thinks very highly of himself in that regard. So yeah, I think he does. I think he is very pompous. I do agree with you.
The world, the mob, whatever you want to call that force of people who just all get together and collect their information and say, we are going to stand by this together in solidarity and try and destroy and cancel your ass, right? So that's what we were witnessing. Now, Skip doesn't do that show by himself. Does that show with Shannon Sharp, my dog. And Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, they showed us something there. I don't know if they like each other or not. People on the inside tell me they don't. People on the inside tell me they don't talk. But since I don't have their schedule now or then,
I agree with that comment. P. Rose, he says Skip is a troll and truthfully he doesn't give a fuck what people say about him. I agree with that. Skip has like either he's the most when he goes home, he cries in the car and things of that nature, or he has the thickest skin I've ever seen from anybody who's a TV personality, because he'll go there, he'll live there. And by there, you know what I mean, you kind of overstepping your boundaries. And he'll take things on the chin. He'll invite people to the show. Like he has very much have tough skin. If he's not, just acting that way and then going home and curling up in a little ball, which I don't get that vibe from him. I mean, he doesn't give a damn what you think about him. He doesn't. From what I've seen, I mean, I've been watching the better part of my life. And again, he ain't my favorite person by any stretch of the imagination. I don't look for Skip Bayless for insight like that. But he's been consistent on that. He said he don't like being friends with players. I see why he doesn't do it. He do not. Lord have mercy. I see why he doesn't do it, because when you do that, you ingratiate yourself too much with them, and you start being biased, like your boy Stephen A. Smith was classically with Allen Iverson. He was crazy biased to AI, man. Crazy. Dwayne says he's a Monday morning quarterback. I like his 99% of the time. Skip is a real a-hole. He knows his shame. I can't argue with you. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Remember that Dave Chappelle, Rick James, Skip is a yes, he is. Yes. He is an habitual line stepper. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Great comment.
Certainly don't have it now because my ass ain't working up there. But I ain't even have it then. You got to remember, they go to work, what, 6:30? They be up in there at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Man, I ain't even step into that building until 11 o'clock. So I never saw that. Never. No.
We say this. Marcellus Wiley is a lot like me. And he reminds me of people like Patrice O'Neal. My favorite meeting of all time, because it's almost like we are too honest and we're not like early birds. We kind of just, it's almost like we're like meant to be Caribbean. Like in the Caribbean islands, like people don't come to work on time. It's just like when you feel like coming to work, you come to work. That's kind of how me, Marcellus Wiley, and Patrice O'Neal are. I'm not a big rise early, Kobe Bryant, 6 o'clock workout guy. I can't do it. I'm more like, hey man, when the stars align and everything's good, I'm gonna stroll in, I'm gonna give you my best. And that's kind of what I've seen a parallel with Marcellus Wiley's career and like Patrice O'Neal. And by that I mean they kind of burn a few bridges by being too real. He's gonna get into like some of his dust up with people. And it tends to not ingratiate well with the corporate brass, and like they'll deem you as kind of uncontrollable per se. And it's hard to be this archetype because you're so talented, you got so much insight, but you don't play the game. So I think that you're gonna see a lot of parallels between that and that. Shout out to my guy Between the Game Sports, man. Good to see you, bro. And shout out to Dwayne Rose putting 2 on it, man, with the $2 super sticker, man. Thank you so much, man. You know what that gets you over here. Well, you're a new subscriber, so you don't know what to get you over here. But when you drop something on the stream, let me scroll up. They get you that dollar bill action. Money, yeah. Money, yeah. Much appreciated. Shout out to my new subscriber, Dwayne Rose in the building. All right, so who ain't early to work, baby? All right, let's get back to it. We 13 strong in here. Y'all hit the like button. Let's get some more bodies in here, man, because listen, man, you say you wait till the taxes come back. Oh, man, hey, much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. So, again, I know this one may not be my most viewed video, but this to me is very important because this is a very revelatory position that Marcellus Wiley is coming from. And I think it's very valuable to the podcast space. Because these days, everybody has a podcast, which I don't begrudge anybody for doing that. But when you have a guy coming in and talking with all this inside information, you just don't give a damn. This is the stuff you need to listen to, in my opinion. That's right.
Good. Never saw. But, inside rep is, they're kind of good on each other. Whatever. That's conjecture. But maybe it's not, because we saw it play itself out on live TV. Because Shannon once skipped the show. Now, he may be justified. Obviously, what happened to Sterling, his brother, nearly paralyzed, and watching that's devastating. and then to see something that quote unquote is insensitive by the masses, by your partner, yeah, you could be in your feelings. You could be feeling a certain type of way. Me, I was like, dog, I can't hang my teammate out to dry like that. Even if I got beef, I'm coming up to the show the next day, and the first topic is beef with you. The second topic is more beef with you. You know what I mean? Like, even if we don't like each other, even if the world and the mob is trying to cancel you, and I'm kind of like wishing it happens and silently rooting for it, I'm still going to come up there and let you know. But I ain't them. And he didn't show. So then I'm sitting there like, man, cats are always talking about speak truth to power. And, you know, when they get all into they blackified and all that, speak truth to power. Yeah, y'all speak truth to power till it's your turn.
So this is why I like Marcellus Wiley. He gonna say, because basically what he doing is taking the veil off of what we don't know watching these sports shows, because we just assume everything on camera is the relationship, and really behind the scenes is the real relationship. So for all the people saying that, oh man, Skip Shannon get into it, like, well, you don't know that, because they put on a really good face from what I've seen past that moment on the show. So you don't really know the real dynamic. So I like the fact that Marcellus is delving into this, because this is the insight we need to know, because we're just guessing. Because if you guess on camera, these dudes are playing characters, man. These aren't like real versions of themselves. It's a built-up version of who you are, and then you're being professional on top of that, and you're being corporate on top of that. So I like him again peeling back those layers so we can kind of see what this stuff really means.
They say that.
And he has a really good comment. He's gonna talk about Steven Jackson too. So y'all remember 2 years ago when Kwame Brown was on his ass? He's gonna speak about that too, and it's hilarious.
Truth to power till it's their turn to do it. Oh, fuck. If you don't step yourself up there and tell Skip Bayless how you really feel, but that day went by, right? So Skip, I didn't watch that show, but everybody was saying, you know, he did the show by himself. I don't know if he did good, bad, or ugly, whatever. He did the show by himself.
Yeah, I ain't watched that.
But now we get to the fun part. The next day, Shannon shows up. And Shannon should have the floor because Shannon's been gone. It's an elephant in the room, how Shannon's feeling. Get it out the way so we can have a regular show. And I'm watching like everybody else. No, let me not lie. That was a clip. Somebody sent me the clip.
Slightly disagree. He's not necessarily a co-worker. He's more or less your boss. Skip show. If Skip wants you gone, you gone. So I wouldn't quite say co-worker. He's Skip's boss, man. I mean, Skip is his boss. Like, let's just lay it out there nice and candidly. That's his boss. They play a caricature themselves. It's literally that person. Exactly. It's a played up version of reality, and that's why it's good TV. You don't want them going up there being normal. You want them to be turned up. You want them to be a more overzealous version of themselves. But yeah, it's based on reality. You know what I mean? Dwayne says, like political figures, they argue about policy behind. Yep. Also, for you guys who go through the court system, it's called the courtroom work group. These people like the DA, the prosecutor, bailiff, all these people, they go hang out, which is funny, man. Like, more so with the DA and the prosecutors. It's crazy how they go up there. It's like WWF, you know, when they are doing a trial and they go drink after them. Very scary, man. Very scary to think that that's the dynamic in the judge and things of that nature. That's very scary. Sometimes they also have relationships with each other too. So then there's that. Dwayne said, it's pecking order, man. I mean, some people don't like to acknowledge that fact, but the fact still remains.
Clip that part. And I'm watching the clip like, oh, he can't get through a minute of a monologue. I'm like, oh yeah, all the.
Now that was juicy when Shannon got frustrated. He's like, "Oh, Jenny, go ahead." I'm not deleting the tweet. That was surprising to see. I gotta say, so that to me shows me there was some behind the scenes stuff going over on camera, and that was very interesting to observe. I was like, oh. So that let me know there is something to that. Now, beyond that point, they've been extremely professional. They even still have on-camera chemistry, in my opinion. But that moment right there was very revelatory.
Them cats told me that they ain't feeling each other. They ain't lying. God damn. That was crazy. And now let's unpack it. Why is it like this? So I ain't gonna get into like what they said word for word. Y'all already seen that and dissected that. What's crazy is the bigger Shannon got on that show, the higher the tension got. Now, people are saying it's manufactured, they're doing it for ratings, and I feel some of that. Certainly, you lean to whatever's gonna help you out, whatever's gonna give you and your show greater success. Incentives shape behavior, right? So I get that, but what I don't get is one, people are saying Shannon is being so classy by not responding. He's being such a good.
So again, this is why I like Marcellus Wiley. Nobody really criticizes Shannon Sharp, especially quote unquote pro-black type of folks. Everybody likes Uncle Shay Shay, even though he does some questionable stuff that some people will call cooning. But we're gonna leave that. That's another discussion for another day. Marcellus Wiley is one of the few that will actually peak Shannon Sharp because people like to prop up Shannon to get at Skip, and you kind of leave him below reproach. Marcellus don't get down like that, and that's what I like about him as well. But let's see what he has to say.
Citizen by not responding, right? Everybody's just giving him props for that. Y'all gotta also understand he knows he can't disrespect the bridge he crossed to get here, and that is Skip Bayless. But Skip is testing his Southern hospitality. Skip is testing all of Shannon's Southern hospitality.
That's true.
Because Skip's an agitator.
Yes,
Commonly people call them people a-holes. What was that movie? Meet the Parents? I mean, a-hole. Little kid. Like Skip does that on purpose. Because in real life, Skip's real nice. Like every time I see Skip, it's like a human bubble. Like he's just so gentle, so like nice. You're like, everyone knows that if you go to war with Skip on the show, he gonna come for your neck. Everybody knows as soon as he say cut or go to break commercial, Skip the nicest dude in the world. And I'm not lying, like literally in the world, he's the nicest dude. So I was like, that's crazy to see. But what's happening right now is Skip is realizing that Shannon needs to stay in his place in terms of the dynamic of that show. That's why he keeps flexing on Shannon. Put your glasses on. That's why he keeps flexing on Shannon. Won't let him get a sentence through. I'm not taking the tweet down. Even the day before, Skip said that the bosses said something. Then the next day when Shannon brings it up, the bosses didn't say anything. This is a flex. Because he thinks that Shannon is trying to flex because Shannon is just growing in popularity. Maybe he's post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, I agree with that, P. Rose. When you told him put your glasses back on, it kind of. So again, I know some people going to automatically think the racial aspect. I kind of saw it as, dog, stop whining. What are you talking about? Now, also in that same vein, I thought Skip was out of pocket, man. Like, let the dude go through his damn monologue. Like, you had a whole show by yourself to kind of try to do some cleanup on that. If Shannon want to come back and say his piece, and you wouldn't let him get a minute through his damn soliloquy, man. So I thought that was very callous on Skip's part. Let him talk. Then you can come retort, but it's almost like he wanted to hit it off at the pass. So I understand what he's doing. I just don't. I think that was a fairly poorly played move by Skip, because let him get it all out. Then you can go and retort, and then you go forward from that moment. So yeah, I wouldn't feel that with Skip cutting him off like that. Uncle Shay Shay folks be saying, Uncle, hey, P Valley folks will also say that type of crap. I never seen an episode of P Valley, man. I've heard I need to see it. Some people say you don't need to see it. I don't know. I ain't never watched it.
Didn't this happen with Stephen A and him? A lot of people told me that. I don't remember the beats of that. But Stephen A kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it started to go a different way.
That's probably right.
Maybe he's reliving that. I don't know.
Hey, because, listen, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen A. Smith is ESPN. You better believe that. They might as well call it Stephen A. ESPN. It's his network as far as being the face of it. Stephen A. Smith is ESPN.
But all I know is if somebody's trying to cancel my partner, I'm there for my partner. But I also know my partner can't be trying to flex on me because my partner's shook. Because if we're really teammates, the better me is the better we. And that's what I don't get about their relationship from afar. You know, you got to just show up if you Shannon. Check him. And if you Skip, he shows up, you got to shut it. You got to let him have his at least a minute worth. Let him get it off his chest. Then y'all can just beef off what he said. But you can't even beef or have a debate as you want to all the time because you ain't even let him get it out. It's crazy. I'm talking about two dudes older than me. Beefing off of social media. You know, bots and just eggs. Well, I guess Elon got rid of the eggs, but whatever. It's a sad.
Salute to Free Zone Lou in the building, man. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Free Zone. And listen, man. What Wiley's saying is true, man. Like you gotta get over that stuff and then ingratiate yourself well with the public. Skip just had a really big misstep because people already kind of got that. People again who are tremendously racial, they're gonna look at it as, oh well, you trying to be master on the plantation, blah blah blah. You know, NIG is gonna do that. So, well, going back to what he said, maybe Skip just don't give a damn. So, I'm trying to give you some free game, Skip. I guess you don't give a damn anyway. So, I guess it don't matter. It don't matter if that's good advice or not, because you're just gonna run your show how you want to run it, and you're hedging your bet that people gonna watch it anyway, which people will. So, well played.
As state of affairs, that it felt like there was tension in the air based off of them listening to others. It's always that, right?
Just hit that like button, guys.
No communication, even worse.
Subscribe if you're new.
Takes me back to when I played in Ryan Leaf. Y'all remember Ryan Leaf?
Before he gets into
everybody call him the greatest bust. That's cool.
Before he gets to it, man, Ryan Leaf is nobody has nothing good to say about him. And that's from his playing days, his coaching days at West Texas A&M. He got arrested while he was coaching at West Texas. Like nobody likes Ryan Leaf. Nobody likes this dude. Nobody likes this dude, man. And so yeah, he about to step into some area. Stephen A. Rance in early 2012, 2013 got him really big from Cowboys Rance to Tim Tebow, Jay Cutler Rance. Yeah, man used to be blasphemous. Yeah, he also had the my man Tiago Splitter. That's that same era right there too. Yeah, that was a good run for Stephen A. I agree with that. Wayne says I saw as big brother giving the little brother a nuggie. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's go.
Cold, y'all wrong. But Ryan Leaf, I remember hearing his old lineman tell me that he was such an ass. They got so mad at him that there were times where they wouldn't block for him just to set him straight, teach him a lesson. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
Man, like you can be a teammate with somebody, but hang them out to dry. That's what that reminded me of. Like, damn.
Listen, for your old lineman to risk their salary, risk their to risk their reputation, for you to just eat dirt a few times, you got to be an extreme asshole. That's crazy, man. That's very revelatory, man.
They both kind of hanging each other out to dry, right? Like Shannon not showing up, Skip not letting him talk, Skip trying to punk him, Skip trying to say, so what? When Shannon said he was a Hall of Famer, he said, so what? Oh, if I'm Shannon, I'm like, it's time to go to the club. Shay, I'm out, dog. What are we doing here? Because you're trying to say I ain't better than Brady, but you know I'm better than you because you ain't even in the competition. See, this is why, I ain't going to get to that yet. This is why it's a house of cards when you talk some of these shows and these relationships. It ain't gonna end well, man. Because cats
and y'all keep hanging on, man. I'm telling you, he's gonna start talking about several beefs within the industry, man. It's really, really good content. Really good content, man. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley. This gem of a live stream out. Well, pre-record, but in live stream fashion.
Gotta sit on that. You imagine all them rocks you sitting on while you arguing over somebody else. Y'all arguing over some other player, Russell Westbrook. And then y'all know y'all got beef with each other. Oh, y'all know y'all caught up in the press, so it's going to end all kind of weird ways. But they're not firing Skip. Y'all need to get off that. Yeah. Shannon, they not going to fire Shannon either. Shannon got clout now. However, Fox is good with, like, letting y'all both coexist. I'll get to that later. But they'll let you coexist, but they like, we ain't doing the beef stuff because they had that issue with Brandon Marshall, Nick Wright. And I think that really stained the brain of some of the.
Y'all know how I feel about Nick Wright. make for good TV, but he is what you think Skip Bayless is. Like, as far as a non-athlete who just only comes with statistics, he has very poor scope of applied basketball, football, whatever sport we're talking, knowledge. He only talks of it from a box score reading standpoint. That's why I can't stand that dude. And go down last year NBA Finals, I laced him up before the finals. I called out how poorly his evaluation is, and I told you why Golden State would win that series. And his logic was that since Jordan Poole, his numbers have been dropping down every series, that there's not enough points Golden State can score to beat the Celtics. I'm like, no, dude. Golden State does not outscore people. Do they win the game with more points? Yes, but that's not their intent. They do is they out execute. And Jordan Poole does not have to be one of their leading scorers, which he was not. And they won in 6 games. And I called that out game by game. I told you why Nick Wright's logic was flawed before the games. I wasn't Monday morning. I was not Monday morning quarterback. I was calling it before it's happening. I'm just saying. So you know me. I don't rock with Nick Wright.
Those execs said, "Oh no, we ain't gonna have nobody hating somebody on our network anymore." So that's where that went. But both guys are in great job security. If you ask me whose job is safer, I think old reliable. I think Skip's job is safer. You know, not saying he's better or any of that stuff. I'm just saying he's safer. Plus Shannon, you know, that's spry young man. he can pop off and do some other stuff because that Club Shay Shay is rocking. And Skip's podcast is not. That shit dry. Woo! Come on, Skip, you better than that. Reading paper and just talking. Come on, dog. We better than that. But he's the king in terms of debating. He's certainly the king in undisputed. But they throwing rocks at the throne. You better watch your back because they coming for your head. This got me into a conversation because some fans kept hitting me up. And they was like, dog, you ever beef with any of your co-hosts? I was like, any? Damn near all of them. So I'm going to try and get through this. And I ain't going to take all day. Because y'all know I beef with a smile. I laugh at my pain. I love levity. So anytime you got a problem with me, I'm going to giggle your ass away. So let's start with some of these beefs. Since I've had the most co-hosts.
That's a good part right here. And he's absolutely right about Club Shay Shay being way better than Skip Bayless' podcast. Skip Bayless is being lazy as hell with that. I looked at it one time. I ain't looking at this garbage. Might as well just go on Twitter and make a live video on College Day. Like, that's not a podcast. But yeah, Club Shay Shay got his stuff popping. Now, I watch his in and out, but the production value, the host, the topics, ain't even close.
Host probably in the business. You know, I got passed around like a Figueroa flipper. Let me get some of these beefs out there. Max Kellerman, let's start there. Max and I almost got into a fight in front of Starbucks downstairs ESPN one day. Don't ask me why. From my perspective, I don't know why we were about to fight, but I knew what I was mad at. And it wasn't particular. It was in general. Max was talking too much. I was like, damn, dog. Now, I was deferring.
Max Kellerman talk too much? No way. No. and that's what, you know, before he goes further, that's why I like/hate Max Kellerman, because he's very knowledgeable. He's very insightful, in my opinion. A little too left-leaning for my taste, rather. But overall, man, Max he is that guy who did a little bit of everything, so he knows a little bit of everything. And so I do appreciate his insight until he starts talking too much, and then he starts trying to talk for black issues. I'm like, dude, shut up and just. You remind me of JJ Redick, like you stick to what you're good at. You let the black people deal with black issues. But you can tell he's kind of that too much of a know-it-all. He got that punchable face. Him and Nick Wright got some very punchable faces. And I can see how that can turn from insightful to annoying when you really know him. Let me say that. Let's see. General Skip is the black liberal vote. Skip is the white stern Republican vote. They ain't going nowhere. That's pretty solid now. Bro, Skip, you're taking 13 deep breaths. Skip does do that a lot. ESPN 30 for 30. Yeah, man. Hey, just let Marcellus Wiley talk about beef. He's a former battle. Yeah. So he kind of has that Michael Rappaport like down excuse my French, bigger white dude, type of mantra that it kind of gets old after a while. Let me put it that way. Basically meaning when a white dude seems too down, it's like, dog, stop. When you go home, you don't talk like that. Like, don't patronize me with trying to be too down. Like, just talk how you talk. I believe in real life he's an Orthodox Jew. You know you don't do that shit at home. Just saying. Speaking of which, you know what? I'll say that story. And I'll say it. Last night, my apartment units below me was on fire, man. So we all had to go outside. I had my, I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I had my hoodie on. And tell me why a white Jewish dude, I would say he's about late 40s, mid-late 40s. And, he's my frat brother from New York, man. And so, I gripped him up, and that's crazy. So I never would have, you look at that dude, you would never think he's an alpha. That's a black fraternity. So cool little side story with a Jewish dude who don't look like he should be nowhere near being a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. Met him last night. That's pretty cool.
Because Max had already done radio before and I was new to it. I was deferring because Max is so damn talented. He's a genius and he's funny as hell. And he had this persona going where he was acting like he was from Watts and I'm from Compton and he was harder than me and, him, the rapper, all that stuff. Like all the stuff that bonded us. I loved it. But I got the shtick. I got the persona. But I was like, dog, sometimes we got to talk real. You know me, I like to talk real.
Like I just said, man, the shtick meaning like, okay, this is the character that we're kind of running up. That's what a shtick is. Like a little go-to, let's see. It's not reality, it's just like a little quirk that you have, like a little routine that you go through. Shtick is like, that's what it is. So some people like, they don't do well when it's time to really cut the nuts and really talk about sports. All they know is shtick, which means making jokes and things of that nature. So that's what he's speaking on right now. So he's like, dude, okay, it's cool to break character now. Like, let's talk for real now. And he was getting a little annoyed that Mac, he still want to play up that shtick.
Real, talk deep, talk layered. I was like, let's just do that. And Max just go back to his same old pull the string and go back to I'm from Watts. And I'm like, dog, I'm trying to drop some jewels, some Wileyisms. And that was just in general. I was frustrated, like, dog, stop talking so much. And he'll interrupt you, especially if you win. You get a point off on it. That's enough. That's enough. That's my dog. I love that dude so much. But anyway, that's how I felt. I don't know why we were walking out the studio, and then we were talking. We were walking next to each other. It was contentious, and then we kind of squared up. Now Max ain't no punk. He squared up for real. Not like he was gonna swing, but like I ain't gonna back down kind of square up. And I squared up just because I was like, man, you talk too much. Just chill. I'm not going to swing, dog. And you don't want me to swing because even if I can't fight, and I know you're a boxing analyst, these hands, these paws going to hurt. And I wasn't going to do jack. But I just remember us having a moment of beef right in front of Starbucks. I remember that moment. I remember the moment I had beef with Michelle Beadle. Now, I want to tell y'all who we had beef over, but because that person is still super famous, and I protect the guilty, so I can't say their name. But I was on air one day, and I talked about that person in a glowing fashion, because I love that person still to this day. But I also love Mama Beadle. I love Michelle, right? But I didn't know Michelle didn't love her. I was like, what? So I'm just doing the show, whatever, giggling all through it. It's Sports Nation. I mean, damn, who could be mad on Sports Nation? Unless you know I was right and Michelle was wrong, right? Anyway, all of a sudden I could just hear, the responses between her and I getting shorter and shorter and shorter. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, whatever. Then one of the producers called me in, was like, trying to hit me to it. They were trying to tell me what happened, but also kind of like leaning like, yeah, don't do that again. I was like, fool, do what again? Bring up my homie? You know that's happening. They were like, well, oh, excuse me, I hope y'all didn't hear that. Over here got the bubble guts. I hope stupid. They were like, yeah, don't do that again. I was like, what? Do what I want to do. Your bees ain't gonna be happy. Oh, well, she better get happy. And then we had a meeting. I remember we had a meeting and
this is kind of stuff that instances me again. With me, I understand what he's talking about because it's like, listen, I'm gonna say what's real because that's what's real. And when the corporate brass will do this thing to you, they'll let you do your thing, but then they'll call you behind the scenes and reprimand you. It's like, well, God damn, man, what you want me to do? Like, because basically you got to serve too many masters when you in these corporate settings, because they try to look out for everybody and make sure everybody is on the same page, make sure that things are being adhered to and all this crap. It's like, what's the big deal? We talking about an athlete who's exceptional. Just because Beetle don't like him, why do I not get to talk about him? Like, it doesn't make sense. But again, that's why, in my own vocation, I do have dust-ups with the corporate brass. It's just like, and it's goofy stuff, man. And again, people like this and myself, they tends to limit you a little bit in some capacity, because you're just not going for the BS. And bring it back to like Chris O'Neal. He has story after story talking about things in this thing, like he's not playing ball. And it's just like, you're just too honest. You're just too honest for the fakeness that is corporate brass.
Morning. And we sitting around this conference room talking about this issue. And all I said was, you want me to hate who you don't like? I said, is this 3rd or 4th grade? I don't do that. I was like, look.
And listen, in the YouTube game, man, I've been doing this for over 2 years. Well, about 2 years. Over 2 years, before 3. And the homeboy to the homegirl game is real. And I've always said, man, listen, man, because I don't like this dead YouTuber. Man, work with who you want to work with. I'm never going to force your hand at all. I don't like this person. You can't work with me. Don't do that shit. Listen, man, what you get from Who Dog is uncut dope over here, man. Like, listen, people who I rock with is people who I rock with. If you can rock with an enemy of mine or somebody who I don't like, who I don't care for, I don't care. Nobody has monetization. Well, nobody has monopoly over relationships. Like, you can rock with who you want to rock with. I just may not be over there when you rocking with them, no problem. But, when you over here, we on neutral grounds. Boom, boom, man. Like Wu-Tang, say everything, boom, boom. I ain't got no problem with it. So, but people do try to gatekeep. That's the word we're looking for. People do try to do this with space. We talking sports, we talking manosphere, we talking all that jazz. Listen, man, I don't do that, man. Again, we in 3rd or 4th grade here. E-Black says, a black man, we are at disadvantage in corporate beefs. It takes a couple of keywords to make us feel aggressive. Yeah, of course, because we're not in our element. And I tell people all the time, man, listen, if you're in the corporate sector, you got to understand the corporate structure. Corporate structure is not on the premise of, placating to so-called, quote-unquote, black people. It's not structured to that. So you got to walk on eggshells, like the brother just saying. You got to, because it's different. It's not made for you. It's not. It is what it is. I feel these analysts are just overgrown children. Yeah, of course. I mean, these egos that have never been checked. You've been told you've been great since you were 14 years old. Oh, yeah. Of course your ego is. Yeah, absolutely. We are 19 deep. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all subscribe if you like what's going on over here. I appreciate y'all. I didn't think y'all be this deep on this one. It's a new podcast, so I want to put y'all on game. I think y'all liking it, so that's why y'all staying. And if you really, really like what's going on, never required, always appreciate it. You can hit the Cash App at HJ Streams at the bottom, scroll on the bottom, or you can super chat as well. Never required, always appreciate it. Let's go.
Out of love and respect, I ain't know you even had a problem. I ain't got to bring them up. I certainly won't go out my way to bring them up, but if they get brought up, relax. It ain't to stir up a beef. Oh, you really didn't know we had beef? No. I do not go around tallying beefs because I don't have any. So, no, I didn't. But that was funny. Oh, Acho. Let me get to Acho.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You know what? Acho is going on me, man. Acho is, I'm going to go and say it. It's a certain archetype of, like, Nigerian guy that it's like they black, but they kind of a little bit of devoid of a few social cues. And I say that because, and I'll leave his name out the stream, I had a college teammate when I was at Prairie View who was like that. Just kind of aloof a little bit with human interactions, and they tend to talk over people sometimes. And they think that they're better than you, which me as a grown man, I don't begrudge them for that. I mean, I think every man should think they're exceptional, but it just kind of doesn't. It seems like you're just missing a little bit in the manosphere space. A guy named Hafiz is like that. The dude named Duke the Don. They kind of just socially a little off a little bit, and it's a little off-putting. And Chris, Acho is the same way to me. I can't quite curl over their overall blackness and socialism, if that makes sense, y'all. Man, shout out to my guy, Flight Sports TV, dropping 20 on it, man. Shout out to the homie Boot Jogging, Cooking, like, and subscribe. Man, look at my boy Flight, man. Hold on. My boy Flight done dropped a 20 ball on it, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in my bag. So it's not gonna be dollar bill. That's gonna go. I know this ain't a swag topic, but I know y'all like this one. So we gonna.
Who is swag, baby?
Y'all go subscribe to Flight Sports TV too, man. He got it rocking damn near every day over there. Sports content, ball content, basketball, football, everything under the sun, man. Y'all go subscribe to my homie Flight Sports TV. All right, so let's keep it rocking.
Man, Acho and I never had beef. I knew Acho before he came on Speak for Yourself. So I didn't have beef with Acho. But Acho and I had this like pulling in different directions stuff. You know, I think with Acho, he wants to be a star if he's not a star already. Like from Hello, I knew he wanted to be a star.
No, he ain't no star, but you know.
Right? Me, I just want to do the work. So we're pulling in different directions in that way. When you want to be a star, you want to pop off. You want to get it in. You want it to play big. And I didn't have that ambition. I didn't have that aspiration. I just wanted to do my job and do it the right way, the best way. So that's how we kind of on the show doing it together as partners. That was the first time I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. We're going in different directions. And then immediately I started to hear stuff and know stuff that was like, oh, man, we ain't going to be partners like I want to be. But it's all good because I could work with anybody.
So what he's saying is what I was kind of saying about again, I got a theory about this. Now, y'all can say who jogging you are totally off base, you're wrong. But it's a thing with some Nigerian dudes, not all, because I had a teammate named Anthony Oha, Nigerian cat. He's nothing like that. His brother Titi, nothing like that. But there's some of them, though, they just got that little personality twist, and it's very hard to get along with it. And I think that Emmanuel Acho is one of those kind of guys. I thought I snapped. Shout out to Kwame Brown on that one.
He wanted his own show from Hello, right? From Hello. I didn't. Now, here's the problem. And I didn't have a problem except if you my boy, you my partner, you let me know this. He wanted his own show and didn't want to tell me he was working to try and get his own show.
Shady.
Now, if you would have just came to me like, dog, I love working with you, but I'm trying to get mine, bro. Man, you already know. I'll be like,
ain't true.
Yeah, as you should. But I didn't hear it that way. I heard it through grapevine. I heard it from bosses. I heard it from contemporaries. And if you Google, you can see way back, like when.
You talking about Emmanuel Acho. Let me get some of these comments in. Thank you again, Flight, for putting 20 on it, man. Leave your comment there as long as I could, man. I appreciate that. I think he's like, who ain't corporate, baby? Dwayne says, off topic, I'm 45 something that made me smile. Sorry. Something that made me smile was an NFL player talking about anime and Pokemon not fitting the stereotype. Man, you know, I like Pokemon too, man. Particularly, I still have a collection I started when I was 16 years old. I want to sell them one day. I can appreciate Pokemon talk too. I can. Yeah, he's talking about it, man. 100%. He did that snake shit and greeny and golden. Yeah, man. Listen, man. My whole thing is, dog, just be straight up with me. Like, if you want to move around, like, I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended. But don't go there behind your back stuff and all that again. That's why I told, man, he just strikes me as that kind of guy. Never trust a man from Dallas who don't like the Cowboys. Let me put it that way. That dude's sneaky, man. He's a little sneaky, little squirrely, little runt, man. Again, Emmanuel Acho is growing on me. He's growing on me. He really is. When I first saw him, I was like, nope, this guy out here. But he's very insightful. He played the game. So I can respect anybody. It's just his little personality, little twitch in his personality. Can't do it. Or Acho wants to be in the spotlight. He projects to the crowd and feels will give him the adoration he craves. He's suitable with it. He's going to do a lot of secret shit behind the doors and smile. Yeah. Welcome to corporate. Welcome to corporate America, man. Then will I start the show? What was that? Speak for yourself. Yes. Jason Whitlock and Colin Cowherd were the first 2 anchors to that show. Yes, that's true. All right, so he's good on TV, but you can just look. Yeah. That's one of them dudes you gonna have to jack him up by the locker, man. Like, listen, bro, we ain't for that. Mike Singletary voice. You just can't work with him. Just can't do it. Real talk. All right, let's get back to it. We are 19 deep. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all subscribe if you're new. Again, I'm gonna start getting back on these streams, man, and doing them more often. I know y'all been wondering what I've been doing. I just been handling business, so appreciate y'all coming in long and strong on this one. I'm gonna put Flight coming back up and give some more shine. Y'all go subscribe to my guy Flight Sports TV. We got the after 5:00 p.m. game on lock. Y'all go mosey on down over there. Let's roll.
When we first started, Acho was gonna get his own show, and he was going to the boss's crib and I guess designing and scheming it out. And I tried to stay out of that. And everybody wanted me to get riled up and mad. I was like, dog, first of all, if he wants his own show and gets it, what am I to say to that? That means I'm not the one that they want. And that's fine by me. Like, I don't beg for no job. I just work my ass off to keep it. And if I don't do it, and if I can't keep it, it wasn't mine.
Good self-awareness, because as we know, Marcellus Wiley does not have a TV program. We all know that. But he provides he's a good complimentary to any show because he's knowledgeable. He has a good sensibility on things. He doesn't fly off the handle. He doesn't give you shock takes. He's just gonna keep it real of how he sees it. That doesn't always lend itself to being a star. And I think he knows that. And it's self-awareness is half the battle, man.
And move on. So I wasn't tripping. I was like, I'm not mad at that dude. Like, he ambitious. Let him go get it. And if he gets it, then it ain't mine. That's how I always felt about it. I've heard, the reports. They were all hanging and conspiring. I was like, man, let them live. I'm not tripping. But then I started to realize there were times on the show where when you're not pulling in the same direction, you leave your other partner out to dry, right? Like, you ain't there for him because
he talked about their relationship earlier, Dante. I don't know if you came in on time, but if you scroll back a little bit after the screen was over, he talked about him and Matt Kellerman getting into it.
There's a rooting interest that is selfish. There's a rooting interest that this is going to turn out for you. And you want it to turn out for you, not for us. And knowing that information and watching him kind of not always be there for me, because y'all can watch back. Acho, I say something, Acho be like, wow, I can't believe you said that. But
bro, that's me at work. Just Tuesday, we had a big meeting, and I said something that was most people just they got up and clapped after I said what I said, because in my sales, I'm in sales, and we've been pivoting a lot, and I'm just like, I just said something to the effect of, it's about time we got this right. I'm only a sales manager. Like, I'm not in the corporate. We had like all these people in corporate, and I told them what it was. It's ridiculous, all the changes we've been doing when we just kept it simple. People was making money, everybody was happy. Now y'all was trying to implement all this crazy stuff, trying to make us from, in the mattress industry, we're Walmart, man. We're the biggest base on all that. But we're trying to turn it to like Target. We're not Target. We'll never be Target. So in so few words, I was comparing that to the corporate brass and people after I finished speaking. I don't care, man. I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. And fire me, please do so I can see. But on back to this.
But not in the way of like, man, that was amazing. That was astounding. That was profound. It was more like, oh, that's taboo. I was like, damn, dog. Don't be trying to get me in trouble. So it was funny. But all love with Acho, he knows it. Don't mean anything's perfect. The only thing perfect about us was our imperfections. But I love the dude, but I knew from hello he wanted his, and now he kind of got it, He kind of got it. It's an ensemble, but he's leading the charge, so good for him. And that's what he wanted, and frankly, good for me, because this is what I want. Adam Schefter and I had a little beat.
Now, this is going to be a crazy story. Now, this would make me want to quit. This story right here. It's going to show you how, like, the books are cooked in a certain way where they want to project a certain person up. And a person with real knowledge and get marginalized. Y'all peep game on this story right here. This one is the one that pisses me off.
Indirect. He got mad, told the bosses, everybody, had a whole ESPN PR on me, made me give one of those fake apologies, and I said it too. Because you remember Jim Harbaugh was going to Michigan, but before that, everybody was dragging it out and trying to guess, had Vegas betting odds and what was going to happen. My boy is a recruiter. He's a recruiter, like for Fortune 500 companies, etc., right? And he hit me one day. He's like, "Big dog, look at this." He sent me a picture of Jim Harbaugh's signature and contract to go to the University of Michigan. I said, "Whoa." So I just went on my show casually like I do and just said it like that. And I ain't know, but boy, did it snowball. Interview. And then all of a sudden, my producer came in through me giving all these interviews and saying it on our show. I think it was Max Marcellus, all that stuff. We need for you to retract what you said or apologize for saying that. I was like, for what? It's true. You want to see the contract? No, it's not that. It's just protocol.
That's crazy. If you never shared that protocol, now this is what I don't like. And I say this at work all the time. These are called house rules. If it's not in my contract, I'm not doing it. See, Marcellus, he made the smart decision. You don't want to lose your job. Shout out to Thunder, man. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Long time subscriber, Thunder, man. Good to see you. So again, house rules is when you step in and something the optics don't quite match the personality, and you're trying to go clean it up. And I wouldn't have changed. I ain't retracting shit. Fire me, please. Fire me over something. If I'm not breaching contract, you want to boost up Adam Schefter as the insider guy who knows all the information. That's not my problem. You should have got the information quick. That's what I would have done. But I mean, Marcellus, he being smart, he holding stuff up. And P Rose, I don't know if he meant that comment to be on the screen. I know you deleted it, but I can still see it on StreamYard. But you talking about him calling out BLM, I totally agree. And any heterosexual male, if you look that up, you would see that message they were saying was not for you. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And those founders are going down, man. And listen, man. I was one of you, on my Facebook, I was calling that out in moment. I was like, oh no. That's another video for another day.
Adam,
I hit that light button.
really was
20
upset. I was like, oh. And see, I was like, this ain't my lane anyway. So since this ain't my lane, I'm about to apologize and not mean it. I'm gonna apologize. I don't mean it. I only apologize because this is how he butters his bread. I don't break news.
I would say that's very mature of him. I'm not that mature. I just saw a post my homie was talking about on Facebook the other day. How many times black people at work say they got me effed up. Yeah, that been one of them you got me effed up days. We just gonna see. We gonna see where the smoke clear after this. I wouldn't do your shit, me personally, but he made a mature decision to keep his job, and it wasn't something he was really invested in. So I guess he had a cost-benefit analysis of keeping it up. He chose to take the high road and give it up, do a little self-deprecation, and give the props to Schefter. So I mean, that's very big of him. I don't think I could have matched that in.
I ain't trying to do that. So I get that part. But damn, y'all want me to do all that? They wanted me to just act like I didn't even know. I don't know where Harbaugh going. I don't think Harbaugh going anywhere. I was like, y'all crazy. Y'all want to hear something crazy? Whitlock and I got into a couple of them.
Surprise, surprise. Jason Whitlock get into it with somebody. So again, guys, we are 22 deep. Y'all hit the like button on the stream. Subscribe if you are new. And if you really, really like the content, so far we had 2 contributions. Shout out to Flight Sports TV. And shout out to my new subscriber, Dwayne Rose, putting something on it. You can either go to HJ Streams at the bottom on Cash App, or you can super chat. That is always a viable option. Speaking of the devil, shout out to my new sub right here. They want official press release of time. Yeah, man, that's bogus, man. So I'm glad he's being revelatory in the sense of telling these things, because listen, a lot of people, when people make statements, you take things at face value, and sometimes there's more to be seen on the underbelly. You got to kind of look at the optics and make a informed decision, because stuff they say officially isn't always official. You say it again. Stuff that they say officially officially is not always official. Meaning you don't know if that's a PR cover-up. You don't know if that's damage control. So you got to read all the optics to know about the situation. That's why I don't always take things at face value. I look at things and I look at the optics, and then I make a decision based on all those things. So that's just me personally. That's why I don't get so hoorah about stuff I see on TV about all the other things I see around it.
Ours were more contentious because Whitlock ain't never scared, right? In his dressing room too. Whitlock had that bomb dressing room too, that VIP dressing room with a shower in it or something, I think. Something. It was bigger than mine. I know that. That's all I know. But we were beefed because Whitlock is big on like being a journalist and journalism, right? The integrity of doing this the right way. And no matter who you are as the athlete, Whitlock feels a distance between him and his journalistic integrity and us and just our playing experience and us articulating it. So he ain't give us full respect. He ain't give me full respect all the time. Even though that's my boy and that's my dog, he was just like, you're an athlete. You ain't a journalist. It's a different animal. And sometimes I actually agree with him. Like, I'm like, I hear you.
And I got to say, man, if you go, so I've covered the NFL draft in Vegas. I've covered the Super Bowl last year out here in LA. The room is filled with mostly nerds. It's not filled with athletes like that. And they do take their journalistic integrity very serious. So, and the athletes that go around there, they kind of just preen around there and just kind of hop in and talk and then move around. They don't necessarily have their own platform. So I can definitely understand why Whitlock feels that way. Because me as a former athlete, I know I got to go hard to know what I'm speaking about. Actually man a table and have people come in. And I'm still getting there. Like, you know what I mean? When Joe Theismann sat down at our table, I ain't had nothing to Joe Theismann. You know, because I'm younger, a lot younger than that era. So I need to be more versed in that older era of football. But Rich and Mitch, they took care of interviews like that. Or when Michael Buffer came in, they took care of that. Eric Dickerson came and sat at our table. They took care of that. But they're former athletes too, though. But they're just like older than me. You got to put your work in. You got to put your dues in. And I hate the fact that I didn't get Rob Parker to come to my table because he gave me that look, and I ain't say nothing. I should have had him come to the table talk about that Harden and Ben Simmons trade, but I didn't do it for whatever reason. But I say all that to say that is most of the room that is made up of guys who are journalists, true journalists. Again, guys who are better behind, you know, not the most sightly people on camera, as it were. That's why they have very pretty assistants. You'll kind of see the whole room of the radio row. Pretty girls walking around there, funny looking dudes. That's the whole makeup of that dynamic. So, and you can tell that they, you know, when an athlete comes in that space, they're gonna vet them properly because they know what they have to do to get to that position. Who says you're right about journalists most aren't athletes? Yeah, absolutely. That's why they kind of go. They go different than what conventional thinking is from athletes because they look at it from like, you know, you talk about pompous. Writers are pompous as hell, man. They say the pen's mightier than the sword. Hey, you see it. Like again, I've seen the underbelly. I've seen the inner workings. I've covered the Houston Texans before. I've seen these meetings. They talking to J.J. Watt, talking to D-Hop, talking to Deshaun Watson. And what they say amongst each other, the little journalist, little cauldron or whatever, it's different, man. It's different. So you're going to be at the Super Bowl this year because I watched when you had Dimitri Oberlo on. I had to calm my friends down because they were a little thirsty. Hey, listen, Dimitri Oberlo, when she was walking around that radio row, like every eye was following her like she was, like, you know, meat on a stick, a dog pound. Hey, man, bigger than a snicker, man. Like, and she's super cool, man. She gave us 20 minutes of time. Everybody was paying her. We ain't paying nothing. We had a $1 bill. I paid them country boy nothing. But she was cool. She liked our vibe and stuff. She gave us 20 minutes of her time, man. So that was dope. I like to say, what's your thoughts on Shannon Skip? And with regard, we covered that early in the stream if you want to scroll back, but if you got a specific question, I definitely will address that for you. All right, so let's keep it rolling. We got about 5 more minutes of this. But I want y'all to see this, man. This is a really good podcast, man. The insight is innumerate, and it's very, very good insight going forward. Let's keep going.
Not all the time, but sometimes. But a couple of times we had a little issue in the conversation. Temperature was rising as we were going through those. And I remember the execs. I had to take a walk with the execs after a couple of them. And this is why I know that Fox, Skip and Shannon, they'll let you coexist. They were like, yeah, we don't want this to turn into any hateful situation. Do you want to do another show?
Answer your question, Rose. I'm planning on it, but the lodging in Arizona is nuts for people. I forgot, like, I live in LA, so it was nothing last year. I should have got my hotel next. Lodging is crazy, so if I can get a hotel for a good price, I will be there covering it. If I can't, then I won't. Yeah, just putting it straight like that. Just being completely honest with you. The flights are cool, but the damn lodging is crazy going to Phoenix, man. Demetria had, Scottsdale. What was it? Is it Phoenix or Scottsdale? Y'all help me out. That's Phoenix. Oh shit! Everybody. I'm asking you. Demetria had that red dress too. That thirst is real. Oh yeah. She good as advertised. Wait up. Seen in person, talk to her in person, seen her up close. Good as advertised. Just saying.
Do you want to work somewhere else, etc.? And I was like, nah. I said, man, we argue, but I ain't mad. Like, I can argue with you because that's just a heated disagreement, and then move on. But I remember all that going down. It was a second or two, but it was real. But Whitlock ain't no punk, dog. Whitlock be talking it. I was like, dog, don't be talking to me like that. We almost got into it. It was real. Somebody I never got into it with, Colin Coward, but like Colin is nice, but it's always like I'm always following Colin. So I think Colin got mad at me or like just, man, get off my ass. Like, you know what I mean? A couple of times, like, because Colin did Sports Nation, then I did Sports Nation. And it was weird because I was not taking his job. I was not Wally Pippen. But couldn't Wally Pippen. But when you go on break or absence or, take a day off and then the other guy gets all that love and attention, you kind of feel like, meh. And sometimes I was like, he ain't being as nice as I know he can be to me sometimes. But maybe that was just me reading into it because everybody kept telling me that. But then he comes to Fox and then he does Speak for Yourself first. Then I do it. I know kind of like, man, this dude don't get off me. Old back pocket jean looking at. But me and Colin never had.
So I was reading this. So y'all got me talking about the Super Bowl. I'm trying to get to the Super Bowl, and I was looking at my Hotel Connect to see if he had something for me. So sorry about that. Let's see. She loved the third chef. Of course, she loved attention. Attractive females love attention. Take that to the bank. Don't care what they say. I'll just do it for me. No, you don't. We like attention. Let's see. Real talk. He's a person covering different sports. Shannon Sharp. Let's see. On Shannon Sharp. Yeah, I think, man, he's very good because he studies, because he's not a natural basketball observer. So he spends time out of his, time to study. I don't know if his researcher does a lot of it, because he misses the mark a lot. He kind of goes nigga right, talking about numbers too much or scoring. But that's what you expect from most of the football guy. Like me, when I talk about football, I keep it there because I don't know all the idiosyncrasies of football. So I think he does a really good job, actually. Yeah, like do what E Black says, man. Support the stream, man. Cash App, HJ Streams. If you like what's going on. Shout out to my guy Zen Master who keeps it all the way real with his Blazer takes. I be peeping in over there, boy. You be going hard. Zen Master say what he thinks and thinks what he feels, and he says it. Yeah. Y'all want good content. Y'all go over there and holler at Zen. Somebody backtrash me was Zen don't hold nothing back. I'm not even gonna say the word, but you know what I'm talking about a month ago, boy. Went off with somebody, man. That shit was hilarious. Super go, man. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you, Rap Dog. One of my original subscribers as well in the building. There you go. E Black said, Wiley is better than anyone with the podcast. Yeah, I mean, Wiley is really good, and he only has like 2,000 subscribers, man. So his platform is gonna take off because he gives you real. His candor is to be appreciated. There's no fluff. And he's not down talking nobody either. He's telling you, I had a beef with this person. Here's the reason why. Here's what I was gonna do. And yeah, I just wasn't feeling that. He's not going to slander anybody, so it's not coming off as like bad taste. Let me put it that way. Compton had top shelf. Yeah, that's where he's from. He say Compton to Columbia. So we keep it. Yes, you do, sir. I enjoy what you do over there, Zen. All right, let's keep it rolling. We got about 3 more minutes of this, and then we'll wrap.
Beef. Sometimes I'll be like, you don't like me that much, huh? Because I keep taking what you don't want. Carrie, champion, my girl. Oh, Carrie used to just, I don't know what was up with Carrie when we used to work together. She used to call me Captain Patience and like, Marcellus, you were just so sweet and nice and so lovely.
That's another looker right there. Carrie champion, they looking.
Bullheaded. I was like, yeah, because you just be coming there. Carrie coming there sometimes and just be mad at it. And mad at what? I don't even know. I don't know. But it was fun because Carrie's a talent. Like, Carrie is eloquent. Like, that's it. Eloquent. And elegant, damn near. And then gangster too. Nah, that's my homie. But she used to be mad sometimes. I used to put out the fires for her. I remember one time we was downstairs for a minute. Now I had to put the fire extinguisher to something she was bad at. Never me, but just something I was always around.
Let's say you'll pass on Carrie. I like Carrie Chapman. I'll take her good. Go for me. You know what's funny? Marcellus is very fidgety. I always notice like people's little body language. He's very fidgety. They still do.
Steven Jackson and I, man.
This is the funniest one right here. The one with Steven Jackson. So it goes to show, like, again, we remember when him and Kwame Brown were going at it. Kwame was getting under his skin. Because, listen, man, Steven Jackson is from Port Arthur, Texas, which is right outside of Houston. Nobody talked sideways to Jack. Nobody. And if you don't believe me, man, there's video of Steve Francis on stage performing. This is maybe about 8-9 years ago. Steven Jackson grabbing that boy by the chain. Steven Jackson a big dude. He's 6'8", about 220, in shape. You know, he blood affiliated. You know, nobody talk ill of Jack. Kwame Brown was letting that boy have it. Kwame Brown was like, I'm gonna jump up and down on top of you like a trampoline, boy. Nobody talking Jack like that. So you know Kwame Brown with the shits, man. So when all that's going on, Marcellus was kind of defending Kwame Brown. I remember that in moment. So he's gonna talk about that how that affected their relationship. It's just a funny story. And shout out to Miss Diva. Good to see you. Dante said Jack. Yeah, he is. He's too old for that. And he did some things. He went over to the hood and checking in with the gangsters. Kind of like, dude, come on. I'm sorry, man. I'll say something from all time. Gang culture is BS. We got to stop glorifying that mess. Our young men go and think that that's the way to go. And I understand sometimes you don't have a lot of options. Like, I get it. But we got to stop glorifying that. Like, that's a good option. You know what I mean? I stand on that. But Jack, yeah, he's under 50 years old, still propagating that. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Like, dude, I'm from the hood. Like, I don't see him and wear it on my sleeve. Like, come on, man. At some point, you got to elevate past that mentality. Let's go.
My dog, but remember when him and Kwame and Matt Barnes all got into it? Steven was not happy with me he thought I sided with Kwame. I don't side. I just think Kwame got some shots off.
Yeah, he did.
It was funny.
Yes, he did.
Kwame funny. I don't know what Kwame up to now. That way, for me, I don't watch it a ton, but I do still have some of my memorabilia and souvenir.
And I hate that Kwame Brown let his channel go to where it went. He let the people influence him too much and just instead of stand on the square, as it were. Because his content is down, man. It's hard to digest. Because he gets with YouTubers who thinks likes him, then he'll latch on to him, and then whatever reason the relationship was severed, and then it's just like his content is all over the place. Every now and then I'll still peer back in, but 2 years ago I was locked in. I was watching every stream. So I mean, I hope he gets that together because I know he's lost a good amount of that momentum he had. But I just think if he just slowed down and focused, put a nice studio together, because Kwame Brown go live in his car, like he just don't give a shit. But just, I mean, it's to be appreciated for what it is. I just think it's a lot of roll around the mud that shouldn't happen because his profile is too high, especially coming up on momentum. But I mean, people, we are who we are. Kwame Brown's a year older than me. I'm 39, he's 40. Like, I can understand, like, he ain't there all the way yet. I mean, he's still a young man. Well, 40 ain't that young, but it ain't that old either. So I just wish he focused his content a little more. I thought Kwame Brown was way older than me. He's literally a year older than me. Anywho, I'm shocked he doesn't have a podcast. Well, he has a podcast. He has a channel. But again, it's all over the place as far as the content. He beefing with people who, in my opinion, are way beneath him. Like, why keep these content creators? Because they're small content creators that he gets some people with. It's like, dude, people are below you, man. Like, why are you giving them time of day, man? Focus on the main thing. I'm just saying. Yeah. Bingo. Dante said, I rock with him too. He start beefing with randoms. It's like, dude, leave him alone. They eating off your name, bro. You focus on you. Charleston White said it too, man. Like, you missing the play. I tend to agree. Too big for them people. Like, let them do that. Let them do what they do. Let's keep going.
There's Mama's Cooking glass, all that. I bought some shirts. I got it all. But the point is, Steven is my dog. Like, I'm way closer. I don't even know Kwame Brown, but I'm way closer to Steven Jackson. So I was kind of mad that he got mad at me. I was like, what? He just got a joke off on you. But I guess at that time, one of your boys laughing at you when the world seemed like they really heckling you doesn't feel good. So, I apologize for that. I love Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. Those are my dogs. But I was laughing. And Acho got off. Acho got some good ones off. He said,
I like Matt Barnes too, man. Matt Barnes be getting out of pocket, man. Matt Barnes, I see him criticizing Harbaugh, parenting skills. And I'm just like, you? What? Same dude who drove, 100 miles to go fight Derek Fisher when your kids were there and you was dealing with your baby mother and all that stuff. Like, you gonna tell the Harbaugh how to be a dad? Last time I checked, he got 3 kids in the NBA. One's fringe NBA, G League, NBA call up, then back to G League. One's an NBA All-Star, who's gonna be a star in this league, in LaMelo. And Lonzo, one who was on a very high trajectory before he got hurt last year, shooting top 3-point percentage in the league, one of the best passers in the league, one of the best on-ball defense in the league. You telling him how to be a dad? I don't know about that one, Jack. So I thought that was goofy what Matt Barnes was doing, but I like Matt Barnes though. Overall, he's a quirky guy. He's one of them large beige, light skin. He's something from light skin in this disease. You know what I'm saying? Being a little overzealous, but I mean, I like Matt Barnes though. I got to meet him before. Cool dude. He's not 6'6". I'm 6'6". I'm taller than him, so he's about 6'5". I should have made it to the NBA. Man. I don't know what's wrong, man. He can't dribble with the damn. I couldn't dribble with the damn, but he's a lockdown defender. He hit that corner until he came to my Lakers. I don't know what happened when he came to the Lakers, but much respect for Matt Barnes, man. Been a chippy guy who made it. Let's see, I stopped watching. He started beating with Tommy Sotomayor. Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor, the character, man. I like some of the stuff he say, but he is a habitual bridge burner. He always will. He was beefing with Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels stole my talking points. Like, dude, if anybody is smart, you will never be friends with Tommy Sotomayor because it's guaranteed your friendship will end. Guaranteed. I ain't rocking with that dude. Kwame allowed Carcino to gas him up. Now he's gaslighting around. Yes. I like Carcino. I listen to Carcino, but it was a funny dynamic he had with Carcino, in my opinion. Yeah. He was driving 100 miles. Exactly. I was raised, baby. And Matt Barnes a clown to me. I can see why. Is Zoe washed? No, Zoe just needs to get healthy, man. If once he gets healthy and I see him play and he looks washed, I'll say he washed. I don't think so. He played damn good before he got hurt. I don't think he washed. I think he need to get healthy. I think the storyline is washed, but the storyline doesn't mean anything. So what is he doing on the court, dude? Lonzo Ball is still a good basketball player, in my opinion. He just hurt. Unfortunately.
CVS receipts long. He got some jokes.
Look how fidgety he is, man.
Jokes off. But Steven came on our show after that. And I was like, oh, he going to be mad at me. And he certainly was mad at me. We went to commercial or something. He was like, yeah, dog.
Yeah, dog.
He had that Tupac and Juice voice. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, dog. That Kwame shit. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That Kwame. I was like, what? I don't even remember what the beef was. Like, he went further than that. I said, Steven, I know you're not really going to be mad at me at that. And now he's not. That's how it was. Somebody that I didn't beef with, but we just were oil and water, and it wasn't even fair because I like him as a person. He's actually he used to be my neighbor almost. Sean Farnham.
I don't know
Man,
what that is.
I was doing the show with Max, and I forget who next and what next. And then they brought Sean in, and Sean came in hot. He came in hot, and we had the same agent. So my agent was like, yo, how's it working out? And this is the first time I ever did this in my life. I was like, because it's radio and it's 4 hours long, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do it with Sean because he's just too loud and he's just too hot. And he want to talk college basketball. I was like, I don't know nothing about no college basketball.
At least he being honest.
John Wooden still coaching. And on top of that, I was just like, dog. I mean, look, it was my show, and I ain't run him off. I just told him, look, I don't want to do the show like that. So then I think we brought it. Did we bring in Eric Allen? Yeah, I think so. It was Eric. Yeah, and then he got in trouble, and I don't know. Eric Davis, not Eric Allen. And then I was like, yeah, whatever. So Sean Farnham, I apologize, but you already know. And they should have did another show with him and stuff, but whatever. He's still balling. He's still killing it. And he's doing his thing. He gets to talk college basketball, right?
Look how fidgety he is, man. Golly, man. Stay still, bro.
All right. Basically, to sum all that up, man, I got more stories, but I don't even know. I forgot I have my partners.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to do a part 2, man, because I hope y'all enjoyed that podcast again. I tuned into it not knowing what to expect. I didn't know what to expect at all from Marcellus Wiley. But the comments, they lend itself well. I was like, okay, what do people feel? Let me just check it out. So I was playing PS5 and just listening to it. I was like, this is magnifique right here. This is good content. So, and I wanted to share that with y'all. And I'll be doing more from this podcast because I think you're getting real inside information. So it'll just help out with the guessing game that everybody plays, in my opinion. A lot of people speak from not real knowledge, just from a speculatory sense. And so I think Marcellus is definitely giving you some of that good old game. What's my favorite podcast? I guess Club Shay Shay right now. I don't listen to podcasts like that. So I would say Club Shay Shay. I mean, yeah. And again, as we end this one, y'all hit me again. If you like what's going on, you can stream at $HJ Streams, or you can hit the super chat if you want to as well. I will not stop you. I will not stand in your way. And thank y'all for the contributors of Flight Sports TV. And then my new sub, my brother man again, Dwayne Rose. Thank y'all so much for contributing. In my expert opinion. What's that? What podcast is that? So I don't know. I gotta think about that one. Maybe in the comments I'll lay shit on that rap. I just don't watch a lot of podcasts like that. I watch a lot of YouTube like creators. I watch that. They're not official podcasts. I guess that doesn't really go in that category. That's mainly what I watch. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I watched The Wire on YouTube, sponsored by House of Highlights. Who does that one? Who does The Wire? I get put on game by other people's shit. I don't even know what to look for. I just, if it come in my algorithm, I'll listen to it. And Marcellus Wiley came in my algorithm, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. All right, so again, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I know I was supposed to have done the stream yesterday, but I got busy and everything, so I'm doing it. So yeah, I keep it a thou while over here. So I was like, in the morning, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it, and I'm glad that y'all came in numbers and y'all were very active doing this, so I appreciate that. I'll do some more breakdowns of Marcellus Wiley's content or whatever other podcasts I'm on. No Dunks is dope too. Okay, you can check that out too. I like the No Jumper podcast every now and again too. When they got the right guest on there, I watch No Jumper. I watch that. Yeah. So, all right, so thank y'all so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank y'all for being a part. Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah, I've seen some Joe Rogan stuff. Joe Rogan makes good content as well. I'll do that. So yeah, till next time, man. That's all we got. Thank y'all for being patronizing. Y'all hit the like button on the way out. Thank y'all for tuning in Hoop Jargon. Man, you can be doing anything else with your Friday. You came in with your boy. I came in with the dead prayers at the very beginning. So if y'all missed the show, y'all rewind back to the front. We came in with some DPs, and we came in with Marcellus talking about Shannon Skip. If y'all missed that part, That's what he led in with. He didn't hold y'all at all. He came in hot. So that's all I got for this show. Thank y'all for being a part of it. I might do a show tonight or definitely on Sunday. Straight No Chaser Cowboys podcast, y'all. Hop on there. That's my favorite podcast, goddammit. We're going to highlight the Cowboys season and then their insight. We ain't going to talk about that Redskins game or Commanders, whatever the hell they call themselves. We ain't going to talk about that. It just was a conference. But we're going to talk about going forward and how the Cowboys may fare against the GOAT, Tom Brady, at Tampa Bay. And absolutely, Ms. Diva, appreciate that. Until next time, guys, we are out.